Hello, my wide open-minded friends. Katie Cook here with Wide Open Wonders podcast. Welcome back again. So glad you're back. I hope your holidays were off the hook. I just had a really nice break for the holidays. Took a week over Christmas to drive the coast to California. That was on my bucket list. My husband and I did that with a couple friends, so that was really cool. And just enjoying a lot of family time, a lot of downtime after a really, really busy year. I noticed over the break, I actually allowed myself to watch a little TV despite working in television at CMT. I don't sit and watch a lot of television. I'm just kind of too busy for that usually. But I did watch a little TV over the break and I saw a Rooms to Go commercial using the same theme song as Wide Open Wonders. Not cool, Rooms to Go. I had it first. Not happy. Not cool. You can afford to go get another one. Not buying any more couches from you. But before I panic and get a new theme song, I'm going to wait it out and see maybe Rooms to Go will have a new commercial in a month and it won't matter. So anyway, not sure if any of you guys noticed that too, but I was like, what? Why? But like I said, I took a little break for the holidays. It was much needed. And I actually took a lot of extra time to edit this particular episode that you're about to see with my friend Marty Luffman. Marty is full of ghost stories. This is another one of my Ghost Stories with Friends episodes. And I'll explain why this episode took a little bit longer in just a minute. But on the subject of ghosts, I wanted to tell you, I recently went back to Octagon Hall in Franklin, Kentucky. It's one of my favorite places. It's always super active, and I want to take a moment to thank my friend Angelia Shear, who you'll hear me talk about a lot. She's a dear friend, and we're actually doing quite a lot of work together, some investigations together, so keep your eye on that. But Angelia and Bear and all the friends up at Octagon Hall, thank you guys for letting me join in again, because I love that place. It's very close to my heart. I actually produced a little episode on Octagon Hall. It's been about 10 years ago now. You can find that on YouTube. If you just search on YouTube, Katie Cook, Not Alone was the name of the episode. It should pop right up. But that's where I spent an evening there with a ghost hunting team called IPR, and we got a lot of amazing footage, and that was really cool. It was totally low budget, didn't have a big budget or anything, wasn't picked up by a network, but I'm actually really proud of it. I think we did a really good job showing what Octagon Hall is all about. So if you guys have never been there, I really recommend, if you're into ghost hunting or any kind of paranormal activity, definitely check it out because it's the real deal. But right before the ghost hunt started, Angelia told me about a medium, a friend of hers, Angel Lee. She's actually told me about Angel before, but she suggested on this particular night maybe we could call Angel and have her on the phone with us before we got the ghost hunt going to see, just what vibe she was picking up, to see if she could tell what kind of activity we would get on this particular night. What blew me away and what was very unexpected is that my sister came through. My sister, she passed away, it's been almost 2 years ago now, Joanne. And the things that Angel described in Joanne, the kind of message she was trying to get across to me, the details were phenomenal. Angel would have to do an awful lot of stalking me to even begin to find out half of those details, and I just don't think she could know half of what she was saying. And then somebody else came through, a male spirit came through, someone that I did not know, turned out to be a friend of mine's father, a man that I never knew in life. I didn't even know his name. I knew nothing about him. The amount of details that came through were just mind-blowing, and I was able to reach out to my friend and say, is there a George in your life? And she was like, yeah, it was my dad. And I was like, okay, you're not going to believe this. So I was able to get all of that info across to her, and it just blew her mind too. So Angel Lee is the real deal. I can't wait to meet her in person. I hope that happens soon. You can look her up on YouTube. There's lots of videos of her doing her work. It's Angel, just like an angel, and Lee is Leigh. And definitely encourage you to look her up, and I really hope that we can be doing some work with her in the future, because she just blew my mind, and it made what was already going to be an awesome night at Octagon Hall even better. So I want to say thank you to Angel for coming through that night, and thank you to Angelia for for turning me on to her talents. She's the real deal. And I hope to be going through some of the footage soon from that night at Octagon Hall, and I might even be able to turn that into an episode because we had a really active night. It was very cool, so that might turn into a whole future podcast. But now back to this particular episode tonight. It's featuring my friend Marty Luffman. Marty is one of the most interesting people I have ever known. He is by day a State Farm insurance agent in Smyrna, Tennessee. He's actually been doing that with State Farm for, I think, 45 years. He's a commissioned Tennessee historian. He's the official historian for Smyrna, Tennessee. He takes part in Civil War reenactments on his horse, Doc Holliday. He is a mounted shooter. A competitive mounted shooter. He had to kind of tell me what this was because I don't really understand it. He basically can shoot his gun while riding his horse really well, which is not easy to do. He was part of the Buffalo Bills Wild West show in Wyoming and Wild West shows in Texas. He's an actor. He was actually National High Point champion 3 years in a row. Again, that's for being a mounted shooter. I told you, actor, lifelong paranormal experiencer. That's obviously why I wanted to talk to him, was the paranormal stuff. On the outside, when you first meet Marty, he might strike you as someone that wouldn't be so open-minded to this kind of thing. It just seems like a kind of old-school Southern gentleman. He is one of the most open-minded people you could ever meet. My friend Deb Jordan calls people like Marty an antenna. It's like they can just send out and receive these signals. The entities just know how to find them. Deb's one of those too. Marty is definitely an antenna for paranormal activity. Now, the reason I had to spend some extra time editing this episode is because I had all kinds of audio issues. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll notice that I glanced down to check my audio equipment multiple times during this interview to make sure it was running. And it was running. Everything looked absolutely perfect. The little red light was on. It was just ticking away. When I got home, zero audio. Luckily, I am kind of OCD, and I always like to have a backup plan, so I had 2 extra recorders, these little Zoom mics that I put one behind his chair, one behind my chair on the, what would you call that, the mantle in front of the fireplace on the brick. So luckily those were recording, or this whole thing would have been lost. The problem is they weren't as close to our mouths, so it's not as clear as I would like it to be. So I had no choice but to do subtitles for this episode. If you've ever edited something and added subtitles, it's a lot of work. You really want to get it right. And so just listening to the audio just over and over, backwards and forwards, trying to really make sure I was getting it right. By the way, if you are just listening to the audio version of this and you do get frustrated trying to understand what Marty and I are talking about, hopefully you'll just watch it on YouTube so you can see it all. But I kind of came around to feeling like, even though it was taking me a really long time to get my next episode up, that it was a positive. I try to be a glass half full kind of person, and I really felt like this happened for a reason. I had to go over this audio so much that I started to hear things that I might have missed if I just listened once or twice. And I found these audio anomalies along the way, possible EVPs. And if you are a ghost hunter, listening for EVPs, if you've got 10 hours worth of footage, you're listening to 10 hours worth of audio, maybe 2 or 3 times at least, because you're going to at some point zone out and not hear stuff. So the fact that I had to listen so closely to this episode, I really did feel, in a way, was a gift. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, I put up on the screen EVP ? And all the little areas where I think I'm hearing something. I would love your feedback on what you think I might be hearing. Sometimes you can tell it's just the movement of a chair or me rustling my papers. And then there's other times when there's zero movement, but it hears, you can hear what sounds like footsteps or sometimes kind of a real breathy thing coming through. And I just can't see it being Marty and I. The only other person that was in the room was my mother. She was sitting across from us in a chair, and I was like, you better be quiet while I'm doing this. She didn't move a muscle. So, and the microphones, the recorders were right behind us. So, for somebody to get up in the recorder and be breathing or walking, simply put, we would have known. So that was pretty interesting. Now, I can't claim that the audio issues were from ghosts. Who knows? Was a spirit messing with my recording equipment? I don't know. I have no idea. Probably human error more than anything. But what I did experience at the end of our interview was one of the most intense cold spots I've ever been through. If you do a lot of ghost hunting, you have a moment here and there where the temperature can drop, and you can even, check it on your equipment. It does happen when an entity is near. This one absolutely surrounded us, enveloped the whole room. It was absolutely freezing. All three of us felt it, and it lasted a while. But we asked for it, as you'll see or hear. We asked for some interaction, and we got it. I'm surprised you can't see my breath on the video. That's how cold it got. I thought my fingers were going to turn blue. So there is no doubt in my mind that Marty is surrounded by some kind of entity or entities. But as you're going to hear in our chat, he's not only okay with it, he really actively seeks them out and even invites them to come back to his house if he's out somewhere and experiences an entity. He's like, y'all come home with me, which I think is kind of crazy. But not all these entities have been good. But I'm going to let him explain this to you. Please enjoy my chat with Marty Luffman. Hi, Haunted House Marty Luffman.
Hello, Katie Cook.
So yeah, let's just dive right into this one. You live here in a haunted house, and we are going to talk a lot about this, but I want to kind of go back and get the history of the house itself, just so everyone has the backstory. You built this house.
I did. I lived down the street. I had a small farm down there, and this land became available. And why she was sold, I don't know. It's a perfect location in my opinion. But anyhow, I jumped on it and I bought it within a week. And I had the land, and then about 3 years later, I designed the house I wanted to build, and I started on that, and I built the house, and I moved into it July of 01. Before this was a subdivision out here, and before that house was built in 1881 was here, this part of Nashville was part of North Carolina.
What?
It was owned by the British government. The King of England actually owned this land right here. Okay? He eventually gave the land to the United States. They divided Tennessee up and North Carolina. And this became a community called Cane Ridge. You had all these people from England that came here to Cane Ridge, where my home is located. But you had Indians here too, okay? We had a lot of Indians in the area. You had Cherokee, you had Chickasaw, you had Seminole coming up from Florida. You had several branches. You probably had 15 to 20 different Indian tribes or whatever here in Middle Tennessee. Are you familiar with the Trail of Tears?
Yes.
It was the Trail of Tears that took all the Indians in this area and moved them to Oklahoma. So what's left are the people from England and the people who are settling, and they got rid of the Indians so these people could have more land, which in my estimation is totally wrong. But my home, my farm right here was an Indian reservation. Indians lived right here on this farm. They lived all over Cane Ridge, and they got along just fine with other people that was moving in. Now back in the back, in the creek, you can see caves in the summer. Well, these caves fill up with water. And then you find all kinds of stuff. Back when I first moved out here, or cleared the land, you can find all kinds of stuff that would come out of the caves on the back of my farm.
Like what kind of stuff?
Well, I found a bowl, or old rock sandstone that had been carved out, or for making bread or whatever they make. Anyhow, when I built the house, I didn't find out later there had been several murders in the house across the street.
Hopefully he wasn't involved in any of those.
So anyhow, when they tore the house down, a lot of the bad entities that was over there wanted to come here.
Okay, before we talk about here, I have to know more. When you say you found out there were murders at that house, was this man involved with those?
I prefer not to talk about that. I mean, he's still got family.
Okay. So this man that you thought was your friend and a nice guy, has some history, some very bad history.
That's what it appeared to be.
Okay, so the house gets torn down and you feel like those entities come here. Do you know anything about the people that were murdered?
I do.
Okay, is that anything you can say? Young or old, male, female?
No, I really don't want to go there right now. Okay. But I will tell you this. There were a lot of murders out here in this area. There were hangings, okay? Recently, a fellow contacted me. He was referred to me by another historical group. He was looking for a hanging tree, okay, where they hung this kid. He couldn't find it. They couldn't find it. They couldn't locate it. So he came to me. He asked me if I'd help him. So I got the death certificate of the boy. He was 15 years old. I got the newspaper articles from 1924 for them. And I started going around until I felt something. The road that the boy was hung on had a different name at the time. And I couldn't understand why I couldn't find that road on any of the maps or anything. Couldn't Google it. Well, anyhow, I got the guy in the car with me that's looking for it. And we go past the tree and I stop, I tell him to stop and back up. So when we do, I said, there's your tree. Right there's your tree. And he said, how do you know? And I said, I don't know how I know. I just know that that's your tree. And I made a couple of phone calls to some people who grew up in the area and told them where I thought it was. And they said, yeah, that's the tree. My granddaddy was there when they hung the kid that night.
Oh my gosh. What could a kid do to get hung?
He was in the wrong place at the wrong time with his uncle. His uncle broke into a garage and he hid under the porch when the man came out. But see, I think the man took a shot at him. And for whatever reason, the 15-year-old boy had a gun. I don't know if the uncle gave it to him, I don't know, but anyhow, the kid had a gun. And he shot back at the man, and he killed the man. He shouldn't have been with his uncle in the first place. His uncle never should have took him there, in my opinion, but he did. So anyhow, I found the tree over here, and we got out and we looked at it, and he said, how can we confirm or know for sure? I said, bring your metal detector out here. And I said, we'll go up the side of the tree with it, and if it goes off, we know those are where the bullets went in the tree. Well, sure enough, the metal detector just went off. I mean, it was blowing up. Because I don't know how many people were out here that night. I've got so many different stories from
But you said he was
people.
hung, but you feel like there's going to be bullets in the tree?
Well, they shot him while he was hanging.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I know. Sad. Really sad. But that wasn't the only one. There were several hangings out here. There's a graveyard right next to my driveway out here. And I know there's activity out there because I've seen it several times. I've watched the orbs come from the graveyard up to the house. Now, as far as the house goes and everything, like I said, this once an Indian reservation. There's graveyards all up in the woods up there. I found them riding my horse up there and everything. And then I set up a camera one night in the barn, in the loft when the storm was coming in. I got all kinds of activity up there in the barn. I mean, it was unbelievable. I got a picture of orbs around my horse standing in the hallway.
So you build this house, then the property across the street gets torn down?
Yeah.
And you feel immediately a difference in your home?
I saw it. I witnessed it.
What did you see?
I'm in bed. It's around 2 o'clock in the morning, and a light comes on in here. A bright light.
Like brighter than anything that you would have plugged in?
Brighter than anything you could imagine.
White light?
White light. So I get up thinking I left the light on. But no, it wasn't that at all. I'm smelling smoke. I'm smelling plastic smoke. I'm smelling things melting, okay? And then my alarm goes off. And I go over to the box to turn the alarm off, and the keyboard has melted. I can't do it. So my alarm is in the vent down here, the horn. So I take wire snips and cut it in two. Well, this was back when we used to have rotary phones, and not rotary, push button phone, and answer machine. The phone melted, the answer machine melted, the satellite receiver on the TV, it was smoking, it burned.
Well, it sounds like a lightning strike.
Clear as all get out. No lightning, no rain, no nothing. Okay. So I come in here, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I started screaming, "Get out of my house, get out of my house." Well, it did. And it went from my house, and it went outside, and there was an explosion, like a gun, half-fired rifle going off or something between my house and the neighbor's house. So I go running out on the front porch. Well, my neighbor comes running out on the front porch screaming, "What was that? What was that?" I said, "I don't know what it was," but I said, "It sure was loud." Well, I knew what it was. It wasn't no doubt in my mind. It was them leaving my home. But anyhow, I had security people come, and I had the satellite people come, and everything. They said they'd never. Well, the guy who was working the alarm system, yeah, he said he'd seen it before. He knew exactly what it was.
Did he think it was lightning?
No.
Did you actually tell him the story?
No, but he told me.
What did he tell you?
He said, "I have seen this before out here in your neighborhood." He said, "This is where you have energy come into your house." I said, "Haunted?" He said, "Oh yeah, haunted." He said, "You wouldn't believe how many houses out here in this area are haunted. They have ghosts in them."
So he has seen this, and he believed
he knew
it was
exactly
from a
what
haunting.
It was.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, but it didn't stop there, because as time went on, I still had, and it gives me, bumps now thinking about it, but I would be sitting here watching TV or whatever, and I would see a face looking in the window.
What kind of face?
It wasn't a pleasant face. It wasn't a happy face.
Human?
No, I don't think it was human. I think it was demonic. I really do.
Did it have any color?
All I could see was black. I could see a black image.
So like a black shadow kind of face.
Right.
Could you make out eyes or?
Oh yeah, you can make out eyes. You can make out the whole face.
Have you ever sketched it?
No. But I've taken pictures of ghosts before. Like when I was at the Carter house, I got a picture of the children waving at me through the window. So I can take ghost photography, and I can pretty much summon them to come up. But these people I didn't want coming up for whatever they were.
So not only did it look frightening, you really got the feeling that it was not.
I had the feeling.
How can I just ask you? How does that feel? Do you get a feeling in the pit of your stomach? Do you get the chills? What happens? Some people say they feel like it gets cold around them.
Oh, you do. You do. You get cold. Yeah, you get a lot of chills. Sometimes when I've had people stand here, they ask me if I'll turn down the air, but I know what it is. The air stays the same, it's consistent. But the entities that I saw, I kept praying and told them they had to leave. You got to leave. And then one night, he was in my bedroom. I kept a Bible beside the bed. And one night in the bedroom, I saw it at the foot of the bed. And I held my Bible up. And I said, "I'm telling you, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, you're going to leave my house." That's the last night I ever saw it.
What did it look like standing over your bed?
It wasn't standing over the bed, it was at the foot of the bed. It was a cloud. I'm getting goosebumps just telling you about it, because I hadn't really talked about that much. But it was a cloud, and you could see an entity inside of it, okay? And you could see the eyes, and they were black. But that night, holding the Bible up, Amanda and Marie, they left. But there was still some here. The woman, she was still here.
Okay, so did you feel like this was a male entity?
I did.
And you feel like there's female entity that stayed. Is it still here?
People say they've seen her.
What did they see? What can they? Did they describe to you what she
Yeah,
looks
they had.
like?
Yeah, it was a short, plump woman.
Could they tell what nationality?
Oh yeah, she's definitely a white woman. They just said she looked like a grandmother or something like that, and she would walk across the room. Now she stayed down here, but the guy and the children, they would lean over the balcony.
Okay, so there's children here too.
Well, I think they're gone because I asked them to go on.
Well, let's talk about them. Did you actually see them?
Yeah.
Okay, and they were definitely child size.
Yeah, they were children, and you could hear them laughing and giggling and cutting up.
You've had people stay here that got frightened and had to leave, right?
They didn't have to; they left.
Tell me about that.
I've had, I'm not going to say several, but I've had enough. They would come up here and bring their horses in and lay over with me. And I don't know, always around 2:30 in the morning, they'd come downstairs. They'd either go sleep in the car or sleep on the sofa. But I had to go and get their luggage the next day.
They wouldn't even go upstairs.
No, wouldn't even go up
and
there.
These are grown men, I assume?
And women. I had a bunch of Yankees. I say Yankees, they're from Delaware and Maryland. We were getting ready to have a big event, and they came here and stayed with me. And I've got room for horses, I've got plenty of paddocks and stuff. And they had their horses out, and we were all sitting in here watching TV, and the door opens, and you can hear boots walking across the floor. You can hear somebody walking. Well, there's 5 huge men, okay? 5 huge men. They said, "What's that?" I said, "That's probably the soldier coming through." They got up and slept in their horse trailers that night. They would not come back in the house. They will not come back and visit me anymore.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Your ghosts are running people off. Okay, but have you heard from that soldier recently? Do you think he's gone now?
No, I think he's still here. Because you can hear him walking upstairs occasionally. Like the other night, I know there was footsteps. And the thing is, I got a picture of the dogs, okay? They will sit on the couch with me when I'm watching TV at night. So we'll hear activity coming down the steps. But all 3 dogs will focus. I got a picture of them too. All 3 dogs will focus on the steps when the guy's coming down. And the youngest one, the newest one, he hadn't got quite used to it yet.
You're talking about the newest dog?
Yeah, the one that was in here a while ago.
Cute little dog.
So it will bark. So the other night while they were all zoomed in on the steps, I took a picture of the steps, and I've got the silhouette of a large person coming down the steps.
So there's still tons of activity here. You think there's still a woman here? There's still possibly a soldier. Maybe that large silhouette is the soldier.
I've had some dates leave too.
Oh. It's ruining your dating life. Marty, this is not good.
Yeah, I told them that. Y'all got to cut that
out. At least wait till she's really into me and I'll hang around a bit longer. But you're okay with this. You're not, it seems like you have asked some to leave, obviously, but in general, you're okay in this house. Like, it's not running you out of here.
Yeah, it won't run me out.
So you're obviously a sensitive. This is something that I know has been going on with you before you even moved into this house. How young were you when you had your first paranormal
My first
encounter?
experience, I was probably about 12 years old. And I walked into the middle of a battle.
What do you mean by that? Walked into?
I'm taking the trash out to the garbage cans, and the next thing I know, I'm in a 3D movie, where it's all the way around me and there's fighting going on. I kept doing that all the way through college, where I would just have that vision.
Would they last just a few seconds?
Yes, okay. Very brief. So when I was a kid, there was other things that happened to me that I'd want to try to tell my mother. I saw people. Somebody came in the bedroom last night, or whatever. Well, Mother was a really strong Christian woman. So to talk about something like that was like talking about Satan.
Yeah, she thought it was demonic.
So she would slap me every time I said something about it. She was a slapper. She loved slapping. That was her thing. And I eventually got to the point where I just kept it to myself.
I can see why.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Well, anyhow, I'm in the basement with my father one day. I don't know where this came from, but I don't know if I was sharing something with him or whatever. But he looked at me. He said, "You're not one of us." He said, "I don't know who you are." Whoa, where'd that come from? I was just a kid, you know. But I was different. He knew I was different. Mother knew I was different. But they knew what a Christian thing to do. So, but I could go to a graveyard when I was a kid when we have a big funeral. And back down in Alabama, our funerals, they were kind of like New Orleans, you know. When we had a funeral, everybody came. Everybody from everywhere would show up. And we had a pavilion, and boy, we had all kinds of good food. You know, we had a baseball field next to the cemetery, and it was just a day of celebration, right? I could go through that graveyard. I can still do it today. I can go down there. It's in rural North Alabama, and I can see entities. I can
just
see.
In that cemetery, or does that happen in any cemetery?
Now, it's happened in others, but that one in particular,
you have a connection to it.
I have a connection.
Maybe they know you. Those spirits there, they know you. They're like,
They
that's
very
that
well
kid
could
that
be.
could always see us when he was little. So, do you identify as a Christian now?
I think I'm a Christian. Yeah, I pray every day.
So how I because I don't really understand how people feel like believing in spirits or aliens or anything has to be any kind of conflict with their Christianity. How do you feel about that?
No. Now they had spirits in the Bible all the time, you know. So it's not unusual. UFOs. I mean, what is Ezekiel 13 talks about a UFO.
Mm-hmm.
You familiar with that one?
Yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds of biblical references to
to
chariots
UFOs.
of the gods. And yeah, exactly. So what's going on here particularly now? What kind of activity are you still having?
I never know, but we had a full moon recently, and that seems to stimulate them. Strong winds, like a storm coming through. Yeah, definitely.
Really?
And one of my favorite stories is I've got a geek, Edwin. I won't mention his last name. I met him because I needed my house wired for wireless and everything. So he's down in the garage where I keep all my electronics. He's down there, and I'm leaning against the fence out there by the horses. I see him jump. He's looking around, you know, like this. Oh shoot, y'all leave him alone. You know, the first thing I thought, y'all leave him alone. Let him finish. So he goes back, and so he's working, and he jumps again, and he's looking. I thought, I better get in there. I said, "What's wrong?" Something just called my name. I said, "I got mice down here." I said, "You heard mice squeaking." All of a sudden, Edwin! Oh shit!
You hear it too?
I heard it too. It was loud. He starts yelling, "That's no mouse! That's no mouse! That's no mouse!" And he runs out of the garage.
That's no mouse?
And he runs out of the garage. I said, Edwin, come back in. He said, "No, I'm not coming in." I said, "I'll stand right here beside you." I said, "We'll do it quick. We'll finish up fast. We'll get it done." He comes back in. He is shaking like a leaf. Well, he won't come back to the house and work anymore unless I'm standing here beside him, okay? He's got to have me right here beside him. You're going to love this, Katie. Tell you that to tell you this. So, Edwin is working on a house of a lady who is a disc jockey. And I'm not going to mention her name or her station.
Okay.
But it's in Nashville.
Okay.
So, he's working on her house, and he tells about his experience with me. So they want to set up a Halloween broadcast from my house.
This year, they want to set it
No,
up?
it's been a few years
Okay.
back. So anyhow, she comes over here, and she wants to see where they're going to set up and check everything out. So I tell her, you know, upstairs bedroom, set up on the balcony. Well, she gets up there and she starts running off at the mouth. I mean, she is, there's no ghost up here. I don't feel anything. I think y'all are just blowing smoke. And Just on and on and on. I'm thinking, oh, lady, you are so stupid. Don't be doing that. And sure enough, she's coming down the steps. And she's
coming down the steps.
Yeah, she gets right there in front of the sconce with the candles. So she gets right there, and she jerks backwards.
Did you see this?
I saw it.
So she's walking down, and what, you see her head?
You see her whole body just jerk backwards. But that's not the first time I've ever seen it. I've seen it happen before. But she gets right here, and she can't move. She's paralyzed. Frozen. She says, y'all stop it. Y'all let me go, talking to us. I said, we're not doing anything. She said, I can't move.
Were the lights out?
Yeah, it's daylight. Broad daylight. And
okay, so it's not in the dark. She literally thought somehow you were controlling her.
Yeah.
That she couldn't move because of something you were doing.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we saw this too. She's standing there. She can't move. But her shoe is being untied.
What?
Yes. She starts crying. She's shaking. She's crying. She's out of control. And I tell her, y'all need to let her go. Just let her go right now. They let her go. She comes down the steps. She can barely move. She's frozen. She goes out the door. She gets in her car. She won't come back. She won't return my phone calls. Anything. She's through.
So you're not in touch with her anymore. She wants nothing to do with you.
No. She won't have anything to do with me or Ed or anybody else.
It kind of gives me the chills. So you feel like whatever's here now basically is pleasant enough that you can live with it. But if somebody challenges it, they could be in for it.
Yeah.
And yet when I did a ghost hunt here a few months ago, you were like, come on, do something. You were like, but they won't go after you, I guess.
I hadn't had any issues with them or anything.
But I mean, you remember, I was like, Marty, don't piss them off. I don't want to be frozen or something.
I remember you saying that, but I wanted something for your cameras too, you know. Most of the activity in the bedroom is right beside the fireplace. When I wake up, I'll see a shadow person, or I'll see a cloud, or I'll see something that's right there beside the fireplace.
The fireplace that's in your bedroom?
It's in the bedroom.
Okay.
Now, when you guys came here, y'all can't pick up anything in there, okay? But I've got a picture of the ghost standing beside the fireplace. And the ghost actually took the picture, apparently, because I live by myself. I've lived by myself for about 20 years now, okay? And
well, yeah, because the ghosts keep running off all your girlfriends.
Well, there's one that's hanging in there with me right now.
Do you have to meet her at a hotel?
Poor old Debbie. Poor Debbie. She does her best. But the door will open on her. The door will close on her. They harass her a little bit. But she's okay. She's getting used to it, I guess.
You know, I got a pretty cool EVP here that night when Angelia and I were on the front porch.
I've had a lot of lately is I keep seeing a little tiny blue speck go past. It comes and goes really fast.
So you got one at the fireplace?
No, we were out on the front porch, and I mean, at first I thought, is that just a really exotic sounding frog? I don't know. It was a very strange sound.
Blue speck go past. It comes and goes.
There's not a lot of sounds other than moving furniture here or...
well, that's not subtle.
No, it's not subtle at all. As a matter of fact, sometimes you have to tell them to quit.
Do you ever actually see anything move?
No.
Okay.
I've never seen anything move.
So you'll hear furniture move, but let's say, is it upstairs sometimes you hear furniture move?
Almost all the time. Like my friend that I was telling you about, okay, you could hear a table moving, you could hear a bed moving, you can hear stuff being pulled across the hardwood floor up on the balcony.
But then you go up there and nothing's moving.
There's nothing moving.
Okay, so it's some kind of residual haunt maybe. But what I wonder though is, was there ever a 2-story building here in the past?
I'm trying to find that out. There's nothing in codes that I can find, but one of the neighbors says that her mother remembers a house that was back behind me.
That's so interesting.
But I know there were 2 homes next door to me. I found the outdoor potty, the
Uh-huh.
outdoor
Like an outhouse?
outhouse. I found the outhouse in the woods, and I took it apart and moved it to the barn.
So maybe they're just up there trying to go to the bathroom.
Well, I hope they know how to flush. I don't need a mess up there. Now, I'll tell you something else, Katie. I bring things in. I bring, like if I go to the estate sale, that's where you're going to pick up entities when people go to those.
Do you like touch an object?
I can. I can touch the object, and if I can feel an energy off of it, I'll buy it.
How many things have you brought into this house because you felt energy?
One of them I had to get rid of. It was an elderly man. There was a gas heater in his house, a small one that he used to like sit in a rocking chair and, warm by. But I took it out. I was getting some, I don't want to say bad energy or anything like that, but I got he wasn't comfortable being here.
You say he, so you really feel like bringing this heater into your house brought this man.
Brought a man
into your house. So he was pretty attached to the heater.
He was very attached to the heater. And he wasn't comfortable in the house.
Maybe because it's full of other ghosts.
Could be.
So you just get rid of it? What do? Do you take it to Goodwill? Or?
No, I took it down to the barn.
Okay, so he's maybe still here, but he's hanging out in your barn. This is wild. I think it's you, though. I don't know, would that man really be attached to that heater if someone else bought it? I just feel like you're some kind of antenna, like you open a portal. And
I did.
Have you ever lost any house cleaners here?
Yeah, I've lost housekeepers.
What kind of things did they tell you?
The strongest housekeeper I ever had, she was so cool. I really liked her a lot.
You say strongest as in she just cleaned your house the best?
No, she just...
Strong person?
Strong person.
Okay.
I liked her attitude. I liked her personality. She was a good friend for a while. Still is a good friend. But she doesn't clean houses anymore. Her husband's retired. But she was upstairs. And she's cleaning that mirror. She's wiping it.
That one in the hallway?
Yeah. Okay. So she's wiping it down. And she reaches down. Then come back up, and the woman is standing behind her.
The little pudgy white woman.
Yeah.
Did it just kind of fade away quickly?
She turned around real quick and was gone. But she had a connection with them. They teased her, flirted with her, whatever the case may be.
Did she clean your house after that?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's pretty tough.
But others left.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle it. They would, one in particular, they would be wiping something down and the light would turn on. And then they'd be watching it and they would see the knob turn and the light would be turned off. Oh. Now I've had people go in the dining room and if the ghosts don't like them, the lights will flicker on and off.
Your dining room's got a bit of a vibe in it. I feel that.
In there?
Yeah, I can't explain it, but there's a bit of a vibe in there.
There is.
Yeah. I don't claim to be super sensitive, but I can absolutely tell when I walk in a room if the room doesn't want me in it. I feel very strongly like, I got you, I'm going to walk right back out. This is your space. I never question that.
Okay. That's interesting. You say that. That's not the first time I've heard it. Mm-hmm. Where somebody was in there and they said, I don't feel good about being in this room.
Yeah. It's somebody else's room. I sort of feel that when I walk in. But I don't know why. I can't really explain it. I haven't seen anything in there.
Well, there's something in there. I know there is because I can feel it every once in a while. You use all that electronic stuff and everything. And I use dowsing rods. Mm-hmm. I can go in with a dowsing rod and I can pretty much tell everything. I bought that stuff that you had. I bought it all. I just don't know how to use it. Yeah.
Well, we need to have another ghost hunt. We'll show you how to use that stuff. It's fun. It's just another tool. I don't think you need any of those tools. I think they find you and they make themselves really welcome and apparent. And yeah, they kind of move right in on your territory. Other people, I've always tried to protect myself from entities. While I love ghost hunting and UFO watching and everything, I at the same time go into any event and say immediately, don't connect yourself to me. You don't get to ride home with me. You don't get to come to my house. You stay right where you are.
See, we are so different.
I do a lot of protection, and so sometimes I actually think I might really kind of dull down a ghost hunt because I've gone out of my way to say, don't get too attached.
I am so different.
Yeah.
I go in, if I find one I like, I invite them to come home.
It's the Marty party.
I've done that too many times.
What if they don't get along when you get them here?
Now, you can tell they may not get along. If they don't, they leave. I mean, I've had them come through before. I had a lady sitting in here one time.
A ghost or a real person?
A real person, and she was sitting here, and she was starting to, you could see that expression of, she was just scared. She said, "You've got Indians in your house." Well, that didn't surprise me. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all because at one time it was a reservation, right? So she wanted to leave. She wanted to get up and go. She couldn't handle the fact that she saw Indians standing right over here.
She saw them.
She saw them.
Do your lights flicker when your AC kicks on?
No.
Is it any?
Not that
Okay. The lights just flickered over there, and so I wasn't sure.
Over here?
I wasn't sure if there was a pull on the energy or something like that. Like when an AC kicks on or something, everything will dim. There's a little flicker.
I've never noticed it doing that before. Maybe due to the dynamite, that they're doing right here. I don't know. But I've stayed in the house and I've never paid attention, but I've never seen them flicker.
Yeah, well, something.
The only time they ever flickered is in this room right here, when there was somebody in there wasn't supposed to be.
And the whole time I've been sitting here, I've been feeling this kind of funny tickly on my head, like something's kind of petting my head a little bit. But...
Well, that wouldn't surprise me either.
So maybe somebody here likes me. Maybe the soldier thinks I'm cute.
I know they like you. I do.
You do?
I know for a fact they like you.
Yeah, they'll let me come back?
Yeah, they are very receptive to you. They really are. I've had people here that they weren't receptive to.
Does the energy change?
The energy changes, total changes.
Because I must say, I feel very comfortable here.
I've talked to too many people when they know they got a bad one that needs to leave. It's very obvious. And they also say, when we're talking, that if they've got somebody in their house that the ghosts don't like or the spirits don't like, it'll be very obvious. But if you just got your head patted, that's a good thing. Because I've had people upstairs, and they say that they can feel somebody patting them on the shoulder or rubbing their hair, rubbing the top of their head.
Yeah, this has been just more like a little soft tickle. Well, you know what? Before we wrap this up, why don't we just spend a couple minutes, if you're okay with this, just saying we're open right now. If you want to say hi somehow.
If you felt that on your head, then you've got presence here. Okay? And they're saying, we want you to come back.
Okay.
Because I've had people they didn't want coming back.
Well, I don't want to be one of those people.
One of the guys that stayed up there in the room up there. And by the way, if y'all are here and you give Katie a notice, please do.
Yeah, I'll be totally open for that.
Please come down here and do something, say something, rub her hair, move a mirror, move a picture, flicker lights. Okay, you got something in here now.
Okay. Is that a camera room? In the middle of the...
Yeah, I got cameras everywhere.
Oh, so you do have cameras everywhere.
Yeah. I can't put cameras in the bedroom.
Oh.
I don't think that would be good.
Extra money stream. I don't know. It's a little side hustle.
No, I get asked that quite a bit now. Are there any cameras in here? No. Yeah, so no, I can't do that. But
all right, Ghost. Well, you heard. If you want to do something really wacky, go do it in the bedroom because he can't prove it.
But at the Carton House? Carton House.
Carton
Mansion. I was out there one night doing a reenactment with some boys.
The Civil War reenactment?
Yeah. I got photos, of while I was out there, I got photos. There's all kinds of stuff in the photos. But anyhow, the best photos I took, I was getting ready to leave. So I go up to the window, and I say, all you guys that want to get in the picture, you need to come on over here now. I need to get y'all's photo. If you're going to get in the photo, you need to come over here now. So I took the photo of the window. You can see the woman standing right beside the window.
A real live woman?
No.
Oh.
Sort of.
Okay.
Then you can see about 5 or 6 other people in the window. And you can see 3 children down at the corner. One of them's waving at me and got the arm through the window. So,
they definitely like you. You are an antenna.
But the thing was, back then, when I was taking pictures, you had film. So I had to have the film developed before I saw all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But I said, all you guys that want to go home with me, jump in the car because I'm fixing to leave. Sure enough, I brought a couple home with me.
Do you think that's where the kids came from?
I'm pretty sure.
Wow, what if they want to go back there, though? Do you think they know how to get back? Or
They probably do, but I wanted them to go into heaven.
No.
I wanted the children to go on.
Mm-hmm.
See, these were death pictures, they call them, death portraits. The children were already dead when the portrait was made. You don't know about that?
No.
Okay, they have death portraits. And they will take a picture, or they will paint a portrait of their children after they're dead to remember.
Oh my goodness.
And so the portrait in the Carton Mansion is after the children are already dead.
Wow. Mm. So do you feel then that some spirits really are just stuck in between?
Yes, they are.
And do you think they're always dead people? I mean, they could be other kinds of entities. You took a picture in this house that to me looks very alien-like.
Uh-huh. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, so I mean, it might not just be people that we're dealing with that have passed on, that are stuck.
Well, the one I sent to your phone, that one, I didn't know that was, I didn't see that till somebody pointed it out to me. That's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. I don't
Definitely doesn't look human.
It does not look human, not at all. The orbs are what get me. All my orbs are orange. Every orb that I've ever seen coming up the driveway is orange.
So you have orbs that come up the driveway how often?
That's hard to say. I try to take a picture of them every time I see them.
So you see them with your physical eye, and then you get your camera out. It's not you're just taking random pictures and then you see orbs in them.
Right. I can see them coming up the driveway.
Do they float close to the ground or high up?
Well, some of them have been directly on the ground. Some orbs have been high.
Are we talking like basketball size, human size, little specks?
Basketball.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah, basketball. Some may be a little bit larger. The one in the bedroom is huge.
The one in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a pretty regular occurrence in the bedroom.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity in the bedroom, ghost-wise.
A little bow, chicka bow, bow with the spirits.
Yeah.
Do you feel that the orbs are attached to these entities that are here? Like, do you feel like sometimes they're in orb form, sometimes they're more in like classic ghost form, or do you feel like it's two completely different things?
I say completely different. I've only seen one person, so to speak, one physical person. I've seen the silhouette, I've seen shadow people. And the silhouette of the man coming down the steps. I got that. I can give you that.
Could you tell what kind of clothing he was wearing? Or
I couldn't tell anything about it. Just it was a silhouette. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I've never really seen a physical person here. But over on Concord Road, off Concord Road, sometimes. I think there's a road called Waller or something. But anyhow, they have a lot of old cabins over there. And I can see physical people standing. Because I was outside talking to the people that had a garage sale. And I said, who's a lady up on the porch? They didn't see anybody. And I described her and they said, oh my God, that's Granny.
So they couldn't see. You could see it.
I
This is
saw
daytime. It. You're able to describe her, and they're looking at the same spot, and they're not seeing it.
I went into Monell's on 6th Avenue.
Mm-hmm. In Germantown?
Huh?
In Germantown?
Yeah. And so I'm sitting in Monell's, and there's this woman in the fireplace room. And I described her. There used to be a black lady that worked a cash register, and I described the person I saw to her. She said, yeah, come here, I'll show you this. She showed me the picture. I said, that's the woman I just saw. She said, yeah, she was like the original owner or something, or lived here. And then down in Florida, I was on Amelia Island taking a tour of an old house. And it was a private tour. The caretaker, whatever they call you, the lady, she was just, it wasn't open, so, but they allowed me to go in and take a tour. So she's at the end of the table, and she's talking about the woman who ran the place and everything. And so I'm at this end of the room, she's at this end of the room, and I said, the woman that you're talking about, I said, is she this, and this? She said, yeah, that's her exactly. I said, well, she's standing right beside you, fixing to go up the steps. So I said, can I go over and get a picture of her? So I started up, and the woman started going up the steps. I said, wait a minute, let me get a picture. She kept going up the steps. So I get to the top of the steps, and it's going into the attic, and I said, please, let me just get a photo of you. I said, just one photograph. She stopped, turned around, and I got a picture of her standing at the top of the steps.
Have you felt the temperature change here?
It did. It changed drastically.
Drastically, just got cold.
It sure did. See, I got goosebumps right now.
Is it over there?
Okay, I asked one to come
My
down.
mother's sitting off camera. I'm cold.
Yes, I am too. That's what you wanted. You
I did.
You wanted one to come down.
I wanted it to say hi. I should have brought a blanket.
Right now, we're in the midst of something huge because I can feel it all the way around me.
Yeah.
My neck is tingling, my hair. It's that feeling you get when you got one here. Can you feel it?
I'm feeling it head to toe.
Okay.
Like literally.
Well, that's what you wanted. You wanted one to come here.
I'm not scared. It's just
Don't
it's
be
just
scared.
really
Don't
intense.
be scared. But this is your encounter. This is your
I
opportunity.
mean, I'm cold. Like I feel like somebody's blowing very cold air on
It
me.
is.
And there's nothing
And
has
the units
changed.
aren't running. See my little tape up there?
Yeah. Is
The
that
air
why you have the
conditioner's not
tape
on.
there? Is to show you?
So when the air is on, you'll see the tape's blowing.
Yeah, no, I've been watching the tape blowing the whole time we've been sitting here. It blows on and off, but this is just cold out of nowhere.
Yeah, you got what you wanted, Katie.
I did.
I asked them to come down.
Well, thank you for that experience. You didn't scare me, but you said hi, and I appreciate it.
That's what it was doing. It came down to say hi to you.
It definitely said hi. Yeah.
But it's left. It's gone.
Well, on that fine note, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I enjoyed this, Katie, and I really appreciate the opportunity. I really do.
I hope you enjoyed my chat with Marty Luffman. He is a fascinating character for sure, and I think we're going to be doing a lot more together, so I would love your feedback on my chat with him. I hope you'll subscribe to Wide Open Wonders if you haven't already, and please help me spread the word. I'd appreciate that so much. Until next time, I'm Katie Cook, reminding you to keep your eyes, heart, and mind wide open.